we're going to go ahead and kick this off. It's 10:30 a.m. and that's our start time. So we're going to start with some introductions. On the call today, I'm Jack McCleaver. I'm a field director for the Michigan Crossroads Council. I'm also a staff advisor for the Eastern Division popcorn sale. We also have with us today the Chief Information Officer, Chris Hopkins, to make sure that all our technology runs smoothly. So we're grateful to have him. Elena Benar, who is our Queen of Popcorn in Michigan Crossroads Council. She makes sure that the sale runs smooth and does all of the dirty work behind the scenes to make sure that all of us staff advisors are doing the stuff that we're supposed to be doing to make sure that the sale runs smoothly. And lastly, and most importantly, we have Becky Wilson, a volunteer district colonel with us today that's going to help out with the presentation. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to kick it over to Becky.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. As Jack said, I am a district colonel. I am the Ottawa District Popcorn Colonel. I am also a colonel for my son's troop, which is Troop 777 in Northville. So I stay pretty busy with popcorn. So we're going to start today with some changes in the product lineup. There are actually quite a few changes this year that I want to talk about. Starting actually at the bottom. Our classic caramel actually remained the same at $10. And then we have the popping corn, which is new and improved in a plastic jar. There was a lot of issues with that bag ripping because of weight. So we changed that to a plastic jar, but the price did change to $15 for that. Then we have another new product, which is the buttered popcorn in a bag. Now, we actually do not have the microwavable pop available for take orders. The microwavable popcorn changed to an online only product. And that is because there's just so much demand recently with people staying at home for microwavable popcorn that Trail's End was not able to keep up with the demand for their microwavable. So we introduced the Unbelievable Butter in a Bag. So that is a new product for $15. And again, you can still get that microwavable, but it is online only. We have another new product, which is the Blazing Hot Cheddar. And that is $20. We have, again, the white cheddar for $20. Salted caramel is the same. And the Cheese Lovers collection is a little bit different this year. The price is $35, but inside you have two full-size bags. You have one bag of white cheddar and one bag of the Blazing Hot. And if you look over on the right columns, you can see how many items per case and also the price of the case. And of course, we still have those $30 and $50 Hometown Hero donations. So you can find this information also in the leader guide, which we will give you the website for that if you don't already have it at the end. Okay.
All right. Well, along with those product changes, we also had to make some changes to our return policy this year, as well as commissions and prize drawings. So we're going to go over that in the next couple minutes. The piece with the returns, one of the things that I want to make sure that everybody understands is last year as a council, we accepted $1.4 million in returns, and we ended up eating $600,000 of those $1.4 million in returns. The other Trails End did a great job helping us move some product around, but at the end of the day, we just couldn't move enough of our product, so we ended up having a loss from those returns of $600,000. So due to that, and it's gone up every year for the last couple of years. So due to that, we're only going to be allowed to accept 10% of your total invoice factory sealed cases. So the piece with the factory sealed cases is really COVID related. So we had a COVID popcorn committee of volunteers that talked about returns and wanted to make sure that we still offered it for the sale, but it needs to be factory sealed return. So on those 10% returns, we want to give you a little example. We're going to stick to the rule of rounding up and rounding down. You know, so 43 cases, if you have, you can return 4. But if you have 67 cases, you can return 7, right? So we're just going to kind of use simple math there as to how much you're going to be able to bring. The important piece to recognize there is that's 10% of your entire sale. So it's not 10% of your August order, not 10% of your September order, and 10% of your October. It's 10% overall. So that's the big change for our return policy this year. Commissions, I want to go over those real quick. Every unit has a base commission of 34%, and then all online sales are a commission of 35%. You have the opportunity to earn 1 extra percent on your base commission this year by signing up and attending a Trails In webinar, and then using the app to track all of your unit and scout sales this year. We still have the unit growth incentive, you know, the 2,500, 5,000, 7,500. If you grow over last year, you'll be able to have some extra prizes and or incentives, not prizes, for your unit. And those can be found in the Popcorn Unit Leaders Guide. One of the cool things that we're adding this year is Amazon drawings throughout the sale. You can see the drawing dates there on the slide. We've already had 1 drawing date this year, but the way that it runs is how many sales that you have is based on gets you more drawings into or more entries into the drawing. So you're going to have the opportunity to win a $200 Amazon gift card just by selling popcorn.
And I get to talk about prizes. There's actually another exciting change this year with our prizes. We will be using the Trails and Rewards system, and the rewards are all Amazon gift cards. And this year we are actually going to be using a point system rather than a dollar system. And so if you look on the flyer at the top right side, you can see where it says 2 points for every online direct. Every online direct or online sale will get you double the points of a cash sale. And this is basically to encourage those online sales and the online direct sales because of the COVID situation. We thought this would be a great incentive. So you get double points for online. If you are using a credit card or debit card, you get 1.5 points on the dollar, and then cash sales are 1 point. Now those points are going to add up to earn your Scout Amazon gift cards. So the base level is 400 points. Will earn your Scout $10. And you can see lots of pictures of cool prizes on the flyer, and those prizes, those are just ideas. So we all know that Scouts like to see those prizes and it motivates them. So the pictures are just ideas of things that they could buy. But really your Scout is open to choose anything on Amazon that, you know, that they are interested in. And so you can see there's multiple tiers of rewards, and actually we go up to an unlimited reward with the gift card, and that is for if you earn 17,500 points or more, then you will receive a gift card for 10% of the total value of your sale. And so that's kind of an incentive for those kids who are selling really big amounts, especially with those double points. Their points could add up really, really quickly if they're selling quite a lot online. And the opt-out commission is 3%. So if you are not interested in taking those gift cards, then your unit will get those extra 3 percentage points in their commission. And the next thing we're going to talk about is the storefront sales. Next slide. Okay, there's another slide for storefront sales. Okay, there we go. Okay, so storefront sales. Now I'm going to remind you guys that I am a troop colonel, so I am responsible for planning these sales myself, and I understand that it is a challenge this year. Normally, we have a lot of predictability with our storefront sales. We have our stores that work well, and we kind of, you know, are able to have a general idea of how we're going to do. This year, we have a little bit of a challenge, but we're going to talk about how to face that challenge in a couple of minutes with our COVID guidelines. But no matter what happens, there's some things that you want to remember in your storefront sales. And I like to start with just the basics of having good manners, reminding your scouts to say please and thank you, reminding them, you know, even if a person turns them down, that they should still be polite, smile, say, you know, have good manners, and do not block entryways or exits. You want to be careful of that because customers don't like that. So you want to make sure your scouts know where they should stand and kind of practice what they are saying. Remind them that they're selling scouting, not selling popcorn. And finally, just remind your scouts that the more they participate in the sale with talking to people and staying active, then the better the outcome will be. People like to see those scouts and to hear them, you know, talking to them, and to hear, sometimes they'll ask them what their goals are, what they're raising money for, what their favorite products are. So just prepare your scouts for those kind of questions, because the better that they're able to engage a customer, then the better chances they have of a sale. And so next we're going to talk about the COVID guidelines. We all know that we're in a challenging position right now. So the MCC formed a storefront task force, and that was made of both professionals and volunteers. And that task force looked at different guidelines from the organizations that you see listed, the CDC, the FDA, OSHA. They looked at different guidelines that other people are using for standards, and they came up with their own set of storefront sale guidelines. And we're going to review those on the next page with a couple pictures, but for the complete list of those guidelines, you will find those on the website that you see, which will the michiganscouting.org/popcorn2020. You'll find you'll find 3 different documents. One document is for families, one document is for the unit, and one document is for the vendor. So when you're trying to set up those storefront sales, you want to take that document with you and show them that we've really planned this out, and that we have a lot of precautions in place to make both the scouts and the customers feel comfortable and safe. So let's take a look at some of those guidelines. That's me in the picture right there. You really can't tell. I know you wouldn't recognize me, but that's me and my friend Emma. And we are all set up for a storefront sale. We have on both a mask and a face shield, if at all possible. The mask is to protect others, and the face shield is to protect you. So if at all possible, we encourage you to do both, but it definitely has to be one or the other if you cannot do both. Your storefront sales should have hand sanitizer. You should have Lysol wipes available on site, because you're going to be handling money and credit cards. So you want to make sure you have lots of sanitation available. You are going to, for your setup, we would like you to only use one product, like one bag per product. So you're going to create display bags. So you can see an example here of a few bags that I actually put into the jumbo Ziplocs. So you can reuse those bags over and over. That just becomes your display bag. And so you can have your display bags out for everyone to take a look at. And that way, you know, that product is not being handled by many people. It just kind of stays safe in that bag and people can see it. And then when your customer, I'm going to skip down to the bottom picture where we have the customer pulling from the box. If possible, you want to have your scout actually hold the box out and allow the customer to take their own bag. That way you don't even have to worry about your scouts touching the product. You only have the customer touching the product. We are encouraging the adults to handle the payment, so the adults can actually wear gloves and you can have one person in charge of handling payments. That will make it a lot easier for, you know, for the kids to, the kids won't have to wear gloves, just the adult can wear the gloves, handle the cash, and their credit cards. And that way, that's just less chance of cross-contamination. And then looking at those middle pictures there, what we have done is set up 2 tables to help with our social distancing. So I know it looks kind of big, but we have a spot there with 2 tables back to back. And that gives you lots of space to put your sample products, your signs. You can make some posters. It just gives you lots of space to social distance. And we also have social distancing markers on the ground. So we put basically 1 at each side of the table, 6 feet apart. We measured them 6 feet apart. And then we have them also 6 feet back, just like you would see at the grocery store. So this is an example of what a storefront sale would look like. We also have, I wanted to mention that these storefront sale guidelines need to be followed in addition to your re-entry guidelines. So with your re-entry guidelines, we're still going to be following all of those guidelines, as well as what we have set forth here. And that includes the health and temperature check. So for each shift, you should be doing a health questionnaire and also a temperature check for adults and scouts working. Adults and scouts will have to have that waiver signed as well for the storefront sales. And also, one thing I forgot to mention is that we want every scout and adult that works a shift should be asked to sanitize the tables and other supplies between shifts. So that way each shift starts out with a nice clean environment. And let's see, anything else, guys? Did I miss anything? Oh, we wanted to talk about Kroger and Spartan Nash. So we are still waiting to hear from Kroger. MCC is usually scheduled through, Kroger is usually scheduled through the MCC, and we have contacted Kroger. We've given them all of our safety guidelines, and we are waiting to hear back. So I know there's been a lot of questions about Kroger. They have not said no, so no news is good news. We do have one Cabela's location secured, and we also have the Spartan Nash stores secured. I don't know of any of those in my Ottawa district, so if anyone else wants to speak to Spartan Nash, I don't know which stores those are.
Elena is putting a list together of all the Spartan stores.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the pieces that she's working on, the guidelines. There's some additional guidelines with Spartan Nash that she's gonna put everything up on that michiganscouting.org/popcorn2020. So
okay, cool.
Those updates, and I'm sure we'll get an email out when we have all that updated.
Okay, awesome. All right, so we are gonna now talk about wagon sales.
All right. So wagon sales may look a little bit different this year. One of the things that you want to keep in mind when you think about a wagon sale, you think about a scout pulling their little red wagon with, $300 to $500 worth of product along with them. With the return policy of factory sealed cases, you may not want to do those popcorn kits again this year because you might not be able to return that popcorn if you won't be able to return that popcorn if you're breaking it out of those cases and sending it to this family and that family. So one of the pieces that you want to utilize this year for your wagon sales is the Trails End app. So we're going to refer to wagon sales more traditionally as the door-to-door take order sales. But you want to utilize that Trails End app because you're going to be able to knock on a door and somebody answers, you feel, and they're going to tell you, great, I'd like an unbelievable butter bag and a popping corn bag, and you're going to put that in your app. You're going to get their information, put it in, and you're going to click a button that's going to send a text to that person's phone, which is going to allow them to pay for that product directly from their phone and then have it online directly shipped to that house. So you don't necessarily have to return. Their product is gonna show up at their door. And right now, between last night and August 14th, shipping is free in Michigan Crossroads Council. So that's a great time to get out and record some wagon sales. The other piece that you want to make note of on the wagon or on the app is there's an undeliverable or undelivered button. So if you decide that you're gonna, do the more traditional take order sale, take their order, get their information, mark it as undelivered, then you can return back with those popcorn sales. One of the biggest issues though with wagon sales is that you may end up knocking on doors that don't get answered. On the michiganscouting.org/popcorn 2020 website, we've got business cards and door hangers that you'll be able to leave at those homes that maybe you were not able to talk to somebody, or maybe the homeowner just wasn't comfortable opening the door. So you want to make sure you fill out all of your information on these, and you can print and download these on the website. But make note that there's a trailsend.com scout code. You're going to want to make sure you fill out that scout code, because what that's going to allow that homeowner to do is they're going to be able to go right to that website, put in that code, and you're going to get a sale that you may not have otherwise gotten because they weren't home. So make sure you're logged into the app and utilizing all of the tools that are at your disposal.
Okay, online sales. Well, you all know that whether we like it or not, we've really been forced to use online quite a bit in the last few months, right? So we are going to kind of keep that momentum going with our popcorn sale, and we're really going to encourage those online sales this year. Obviously, an online sale is safer for your scout. It's no contact, and you don't have to handle any products or credit cards. It's all done through the online, through the link, and you are earning double points. So remember, double points for every online sale. That's really going to add up quickly when you're looking at those Amazon rewards. And Trails On makes it really extremely easy to share your link with social media, via text, email. And I have seen a lot of really cool videos lately of kids just asking for online sales. They're making videos and pictures and posting all kinds of cool and creative things to try to boost their online sales. And as I said, we're going to keep that online momentum going, and just hope that that people understand that this is a really great, safe way to help a scout out. And of course, you're going to look at contacting your families and friends and neighbors. I think that those little door hangers and cards that Jack just sent, I think those are awesome. I'm sure that I will use those in my neighborhood. My son has been, my son is going into 7th grade this year, and he has been selling since 1st grade. So this year, with the COVID situation, the situation's a little different. So I think we're going to be using those door hangers as well, because I think my neighbors especially, they know my son. They actually, I'm almost to the point where I know what they're going to order, because we've been doing it so long. So just don't give up on those door-to-door sales with using those hangers and such to help people to buy online. And that kind of goes to our next slide, which is online direct. It's in the beginning, I was a little bit confused about what online direct meant. And the way that I think of it is a way that you can do an online sale, even if you're face to face, and you do it through the app. So you could even go door to door. And if someone answers, you're not exchanging money and exchange product, you can do what's called an online direct sale. So when your scout goes into their app, they'll see a little icon that says online direct. And you, in your online direct, you have all of your traditional products as well as your online products, and you can go ahead and do the sale in your app. But rather than taking the payment at that point. You can take the payment at that point if you you can enter the credit card if you're comfortable doing that, or if your scout is comfortable. But it's a really cool way to be to have all the products offered, and you are still in a face-to-face sale, and then the product is shipped directly to the customer. So they do have to pay shipping with the online direct, but you as unit colonels may want to really encourage this in the next couple weeks, because we have the free shipping promotion in MCC. So I know I'm actually at a camp out right now. I'm speaking from a camp out. We're going to have our kickoff in just about an hour, and I'm going to be sharing all this information with my scouts and encouraging them to do those sales. Now, those online sales, they don't ship immediately. I don't think they ship till maybe mid-August, and chocolate still doesn't ship till October. But you can still record those sales. So you can be selling right now, even if you don't have product on hand.
Awesome. Thank you, Becky. I want to thank Becky because she took the time outside of the camp out to come and help us today. So she's out there.
Thank you.
You know, as a troop leader, and her fellow scoutmasters and assistant scoutmasters were giving her a hard time because she was in her tent ironing her uniform this morning, only to find out that we weren't using videos for that webinar, for this webinar. So
I am still here. Yeah, I had on my uniform even if we didn't see it.
So thank you, Becky. All right, so
wanted to look good for everyone.
Hey, we greatly appreciate it. On the bottom of your screen, you see probably a toolbar. There's a little chat button. Right there, you want to click on that and put your questions in. We're going to take some time right now to answer those questions that you have. But before we get into it, you know, I want to make sure you wrote down michiganscouting.org/popcorn 2020. All of the resources that we talked about today can be found on that website. All the links to the Trails In website, the Trails In webinars, support at Trails In, it all can be found on Popcorn 2020. That being said, if you've got issues or questions with the Trails In system or the scholarships, support at trailsin.com. Trails In webinars is one of the things that you want to make sure that you sign up. As I mentioned earlier, there's an extra 1% commission for every unit that signs up for a trailsin.com webinar and goes to that webinar and then utilizes the app. So make sure that you get that extra 1%. Any other questions about the popcorn program today or in the future, you can go to mccpopcorn@scouting.org and send us an email there. And as always, communicate at michiganscouting.org. I'm going to roll into the questions, and we're going to see, you know, what you've got, and hopefully we've got some good questions. So Bob Dewar, field director in the East Division, has a great question to start out with. Is it 10%, and this is in response to the returns, is it 10% for total dollar amount or case amount for returns? So Bob, we're going to go ahead and say it's 10% of total cases, because each case has a different dollar amount, and so it would be a little wonky, you know, if we did dollar amount. So, you know, we're going to stick with those cases. So, you know, if you order 100 cases, you can return 10, right? All right.
And just a quick add-on to that, the cheese, I had this question asked, the cheese lovers box does count as one case, just in case anyone's wondering.
Awesome. Thank you, Becky. All right. Elizabeth Witt has a great question. Will there be top seller events, for example, the movie or the hockey night? So the Red Wings have announced that there will not be any fans in the 2020 beginning of the season, and they're unsure what it looks like for the winter of 21. So Red Wings are out. Right now, movie theaters are not open, and we are just going to forego those for this year. But the Trails and rewards will actually end up rewarding your scouts better than those events. I know those events are more of an experience type thing, but in our current climate, we can't really do that right now. All right. Next question. I have read both masks and shields had to be both worn during storefront sales. I believe it was stated during this that one or the other is fine, which is accurate. So if at all possible, we'd like you to wear both, but at the very least, we need you to wear one. Some people are, not able to wear a mask, definitely have the face shield. But at the same token, if there's medical issues that are keeping people from wearing a mask, they might want to rethink going out and doing a storefront sale. So if at all possible, we'd like you to use both, but if not, one or the other. All right. For online sales, can we get a list of when free shipping is available during the fundraising event? Ronald, that is a great question. We'd love to give you that, but we actually don't know that either. So the only one that we know right now is July 31 to August 14th, which is current going on right now. Elena actually, lobbies Trails in for more and more and more free shipping weekends, and they kind of give them to us like a Wednesday before. Hey, you're gonna have a free weekend this weekend. So we get those out to you as soon as we know. Wish we had them for the wholesale. All right. Sandra, I have attended in June and July several Trails in webinars for Colonels and several for the Scouts. Do these sessions count for the extra 1% incentive? So the ones for the webinars for the Colonels, yes. The ones for the Scouts, no. So the ones for the family and Scouts are great to have, but we are only giving that 1% for the Colonels that attend those webinars. All right. And one thing on the face shields, thanks Frank for the reminder, so the MCC is purchasing face shields for every Scout that is registered in the app by August 10th. So even if you're not doing an August order, make sure your Scouts are registered in the app by August 10th and you will get a face shield for them. Is there any way to get the graphics for the sale so that we can make our own flyers and cards to hand out? Absolutely, Kelly. All the resources that you need to be able to print and hand out can be located on michiganscouting.org/popcorn2020. All right, do we have any other questions?
I just wanted to add about the resources online. That is where you will find the take order forms. Probably the #1 question that I have been getting is how to get the take order forms. We're really encouraging using the app this year. However, we understand that you will need some take order forms, so we're encouraging you to print those out. If you are not able to, though, you can contact your USC and let them know, and they can have some available for pickup. But if you just need a few, you can find them at michiganscouting.org, and you can just print out what you need.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, so a lot of people are questioning how do we know whether or not you guys are attending those Trails In webinars. Trails In actually sends us a report of who attended those webinars, so we are marking that down. And if you're unsure of how to sign up for those webinars, it's www.trailsend.com/webinars. Thanks, Chris. All right, well, I think we're gonna call it a day. We appreciate you guys joining us this Saturday morning. Hopefully you can get out and enjoy the beautiful weather before the rain comes and have a great weekend. All right.
We just had one more comment about Walmart. If everyone's still on. It says, I want to know about Walmart in Michigan to see if that is true. I can just speak to the Walmart in Ottawa. I normally plan the Walmart in Novi, which is in, or no, that's the Sam's Club. The Walmart in Commerce is usually planned through Ottawa District. They are not allowing us. The Sam's Club, and for those Ottawa people, Sam's Club and Walmart have both said no, but those are only those locations. So I can't speak to all of Michigan. I don't know if anyone else can.
Yeah, and I think Walmart has a lot to do with the store managers and how they feel about it. So.
Yeah, you'll have to check your local store.
All right. Well, with no other questions, thank you all for joining us today. We're glad that you came and got the training. For all of your popcorn needs, please, go to your unit service executive and make sure you check out all the resources available on michiganscouting.org/popcorn2020. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.